Let me situate Rawls in terms of what was going on in epistemology in Anglo-American philosophy at the time that he wrote. Epistemology is the study of knowledge. In particular, epistemologists will often ask the question, what's the difference between just getting lucky and having a true belief, and what is real knowledge? So I would argue if someone said, hey, I knew who was going to win the Super Bowl because I looked at the horoscopes, I'd go, yeah, you got a lucky guess this time, right? Because I don't believe in horoscopes, right? I don't think they're a reliable source of information. Right? So you got lucky and you got it right, but you didn't really know. On the other hand, if someone showed me all their detailed stats and their analysis of the players and the conditions and all these other things with deeply connected to football, I'd say, okay, yeah, you didn't just guess right, you knew. So Rawls is influenced by certain developments in epistemology in the 20th century. Prior to the 20th century, right? Well, I should say for a number of years, there was a particular understanding of what goes on in epistemology, and that is people had a high confidence in our capacity for certainty. Right? So Descartes, for example, is often cited as a philosopher who believed we could get down to completely, totally solid and indisputable foundations and build up knowledge from there. Right? So Descartes pared everything down to one statement that no one could possibly doubt, which is, I think, therefore I am. And he said from that, we could build up a wealth of certain knowledge. Epistemology in the 20th century tended to be less confident. It tended to see us as more limited by our perspectives and less capable of gaining a complete and absolutely certain knowledge. In a sense, it still believed in reason, but had less confidence in the ability of reason to lead us to certainty. You will see this come up in Rawls' political philosophy, right? In this respect. At some point in his career, Rawls became convinced that we cannot expect to have deep, widespread agreement on philosophical questions in a free society. Right? If everyone's free to pursue their beliefs as they see fit and question them and revise them, etc., we are not going to come to a deep philosophical or religious consensus that can give us a totally solid common shared basis for settling all ethical questions. So Rawls came to the conclusion that in a free society, we're going to have to live with a certain amount of disagreement, widespread disagreement on important matters. Right? And if we're going to have a free society, and if we're going to have a theory of how to be free, live as a free society, right, it's going to have to take this fact into account, or what Rawls saw as a fact into account. Right? So keep that in mind. Okay? A certain loss of confidence in how much certainty reason could bring us, right, had an influence on Rawls' understanding of political philosophy.